Get tested yearly for STDs.
Ooh, shit! I told y'all gonna love this shit. Hey, listen here. Give me your name, age, and you get that yearly checkup, my boy.
I'm JC. I'm 40, and no, I don't go every year.
Okay.
All right, you kept it real. All right, you don't go every year. Uh, Give me your name, age, and do you get tested every year?
I'm Naptown's Prince. They call me Cho. I'm 45, and I go after every relationship.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Feel me? So it ain't every
Yeah,
year.
nah, yeah, because
Yeah.
you could be in a relationship like a
Like
couple of
very
years,
new
yeah.
relationship.
Give me your name, age, and do you get yearly checkups?
Rod 43. Yes, I do.
All right.
That my chart looking like. Give me your name, age, and do you get yearly STD checkups?
35, big O. I don't go every year, but I go often.
Okay. All right.
All right, not every year, but often. Give me your name, age, and you get them yearly STD checkups.
Yes, my name is Mike Ford with Mike Ford's Personal Training. I'm 46, and I go once a year. It's the way my insurance and everything is set up.
Okay.
So I'm really healthy anyway, always on the diet, stuff like that. I'm a trainer, so my body's a little bit different.
All right.
I figured that was a perfect time to cue that one in, man. Since we're talking about the health.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? God damn it, I'm a trainee, god damn it.
They got nothing to do with STDs. All right, nothing to do with STDs.
Hey, man, he gonna push you his way out of STDs. That's what he gonna do.
Well, what do you guys think about this conversation, man? The first guy just kind of threw me off because he said it's basically like he don't really get checked out. And typically, if we keeping it real, I often hear this question after the fact. The conversations I have with people, and they're usually sitting there and they're looking like, okay, so when the last time have you should have thought about that before you indulge? But nevertheless, let's go ahead and open this up for discussion. And what do you guys feel about what was just played?
I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, guys. You can tell me, but I've heard guys say that men, I'm gonna say black men, because I don't know how, that's who I interact with. Basically waits for the girl to get checked up, and that's how they determine whether or not they. So if the girl come back something, then they know they have something. But if they don't, then they feel that they're good. Is that true?
No.
I hate this for us. I really do. I really do. I really hate this for us because the responses that those gentlemen gave, it is what you do not do. It should be the blueprint of what you do not do. First and foremost, if you're going to engage in any sexual activity with any young woman or woman that, for that matter, right, or anybody of the opposite sex, free. I'm a equal opportunist, right? So whatever free floats your boat, but have the conversation at some point. I know it's not the most sexiest conversation. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easy or as simple, but you know what? Having that conversation, like, hey, look, I do all my tests when I go and do my yearly checkup or every 6 months or whatever the case may be, right? And here's my chart, right? These are my history, the last 5 years, the last 8 years, right? Consistent checkup, and here are all the results for all the different various of tests, etc. And please, let's not only limit these to only just sexually transmitted diseases, also hepatitis B and hepatitis C. We have to be very cautious that there are a lot of people who are entering the country who are unfortunately have not perhaps had their shots or have not been checked out, right? So we also have to operate in a space where giving people too much grace might end up being your shortcoming, right? Have the conversation, go together, or they go without you, whatever the case may be, but definitely have the case. And as far as those gentlemen, being very lackadaisical. Nah, man, have your paperwork in order. Be proud and stand on business that you're a healthy man who prioritizes his health, right? Who goes to the doctor, and not only just for sexually transmitted diseases too. Also, go to get your blood work. What's your blood work like? What's your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and all these other things? Are you eating healthy enough? Gentlemen, put down the cognac. Put down that cognac, man. Pick up the lemon and water. Drink more coconut water. Go out walking more often. Bike, whatever the case may be. But as you get older, you have to prioritize, your health, and you got to change the way you view things. So that's just what I want to say.
Do you think it gets better as men get older that they use their healthcare benefits?
Unfortunately, it gets worse because what happens is that, like when you're a young, when you're a young man, and this is what I've seen, and I can honestly attest to this too, because when you're a young man, you're healthy, and you're not even concerned. Like, man, I'm good. Like, I eat well. I'm always active. Whatever. But it's not only so much of that. It's just that as you get older, you have to also be cognizant that you don't know if you have prior family hereditaries that you need to be conscious of, right? Things that you might be okay with eating in the past, you might not be okay with eating now. There's things that might develop that weren't there that are now there, right? It's better to get ahead of it. Unfortunately, there are too many men dying from things that they could have prevented. That is the casing point, and sort of that in itself needs to be more of a conversation and more of a movement, because we all have brothers, nephews, loved ones, etc., who are in these kinds of spaces or phases of their life that they need to be more self-aware. And as they get older, if they don't really have that person in their corner to like remind them or set their appointments, etc., they forget about it, because unfortunately life be lifing. And there's a lot of events that ends up happening, and it's like, oh, I scheduled it, but I forgot. I went on this trip. I scheduled the same week. I'll do it later, but then they can't get scheduled in for another 4 months, and they just keep kicking that can further and further down the road. So being more aware and being more accountable of one's health has to be a priority.
Do you think that men who have women in their lives go to the doctor more often and are more proactive about it because they have women in their lives?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because my mom.
Do they do it like begrudgingly, or like, do they drag?
It's more of like that elbow, like you better go to that appointment on Tuesday, right? So my mom, shout out to my mom, man. She was very big on making sure, like, she'll go with my dad to her appointments and stuff like that. And she'll also like ask further up questions, because unfortunately that's another thing too. They'll be like, oh, I'm good. Okay, we're ready. We treat that thing like an oil change, like filter, power washer, power steering, oil. Okay, we're good. But you don't ask about any, are these tires good? You know what I'm saying? Should I get new windshield wipers?
Is this symptom
There's
connected to this?
You know what I'm saying? There's all these other things, and there's also things that they have on their mind or concerns or issues, right? But they don't bring it up because they're embarrassed. So I honestly think, and hopefully we probably get into more of a space where if there are men who haven't gotten over that hurdle and are not paired with someone, right, that they have an advocate when they go to the doctors, where they could have these conversations pre-screen ahead of time, right? So like that, they can have the uncomfortable conversations with their physician or medical professional where these things could get brought up. And if we have that, right, we could catch a lot of things early. We could prevent a lot of people from, from suffering or going through any of these life-changing illnesses, right? And we could have a much more thriving, community of men.